reading. This is, believe it or not, our 9th reading. My name is John Patrick Bray, and I am the host and moderator for No Shame, which of course is under the auspices of the Rose of Athens Theater. So be sure to Google Rose of Athens. Lots of exciting stuff coming up. After this reading tonight, our next No Shame reading will be on October 14th. Also a Sunday night, also at about 7-ish, a couple minutes after. And that one's really exciting, written by one of the greatest living playwrights. I wrote it. Sorry. And it's my adaptation of Dracula, which Dracula does not actually appear, because I couldn't write it without making him sound really bad. So tonight I also have some t-shirts on sale. If you're looking at this t-shirt and you're thinking, man, I want to walk down the street wearing that, you can buy one. I've got all kinds of sizes. They're $10 a shirt. They make great Christmas gifts. They're good for bar mitzvahs. So whatever you got, this shirt will meet your need. $10. See me after the reading. Tonight we are very happy and proud to present Mother of God Visits Hell by our very own Dan Guyton. Welcome back to Athens. And the format for this evening is that we're going to read straight through without an intermission. It'll be about 85, 90 minutes. Then we'll take a 5-minute break so you can buy some coffees, hang out a bit, and I'll touch base with Dan. And then we're going to come back, and Dan and I are going to be up here. You're all going to be out there. We're going to discuss what we saw. We'll have some questions for you guys. Maybe you guys have some questions you'd like to ask us. As always, if you would like to get involved with the No Shame readings, if you have a play, my criteria for these readings basically is, do you have a play? If you have a play, please email me at noshame@roseofathens.org. Or if that's too complicated, please email me at johnpatrickbray, one word, @yahoo.com. Let me know if you want to read. If you're an actor, you want to read, great. The more the merrier. Alrighty, and tonight I will be reading stage directions, and our 5 readers will introduce themselves to you and what part they're going to be playing.
Hey, I'm Myron Tucker, and I'm playing the part of Moloch and Smithy.
I'm Kathleen Hogan. I'm playing Uriel and Margaret.
I'm Jeff Marshall. I'm playing Azrael and the Cop.
I'm Jeff Marker, and I'm playing Michael and a murderer.
I'm Sean Bright. I'm playing God.
Joelle Ray Dunham, and I'm playing Mary.
Scotty Gannon, I'm playing Satan. I'm Jase Wingate, I'm playing Gabriel and Soul 2.
And I'm Fran Teague, and I'm playing Abaddon and Soul 1.
Alrighty, The Mother of God Visits Hell, full-length play by Daniel Guyton. Scene 1, God's Design. God enters, followed by his mother.
I must forbid it, Mother. 'Tis rash.
'Tis rash to salve the wounds that we inflict.
No, 'tis rash to salvage wounds which worms inflict. But what weight have we with worms, with water bugs, with moping yellow maggots and decay? Nay, I say we stay up here in heaven, whilst they betray the flesh of sinful men. Thou and I and seraphim shall play the harps divine, whilst vermin, scum, and scavengers beneath the earth shall die. I say again.
No need, I heard thee fine the first time. Thou bade me not to go, so I will stay.
Yeah, and haunt me for eternity with guilt.
Well, I am a Jewish mother. A Jay?
No, remain, please. I wish to speak with thee. Thou comest here with wringing hands and blurting nervously about the journey I must needs abhor. Would thy request a little less unorthodox? It would be done, thou canst be sure.
Aye, certainly it would. And if I inadvertently somehow just now offended thee, it wasn't by intent. Thou art my father, and my soul divine. I aim to follow closely thy design.
What twist is this? Why call you me thy father? Of course I am thy son.
Aye, 'tis true enough. On earth thou wert my child. I raised thee from a nursing babe to one all men admired. But ye conceived of me full 15 years, for I e'er touched my womb to feel thee kick. Thus thou art my father, and this be not a trick.
Ah, thou vexest me. I long to see thee smile. Come, stand next to me. We'll gaze upon the earth a while. For millennia I reign, as God above the men, with naught but cherubs to amuse me, unsatisfied and full of pride, incapable of pity. I curse the blessed fools who durst refuse to bend their knees before me. And when I condescended to be man, 'twas in a blaze of fury. For how could I have known the agony and groans of life in my creation? I knew the beauty only of my own desire, but not the arrogance and gumption of my celestial presumption that man was but a servant in my mind. 'Tis true, the old adage of power and corruption, yet ne'er would I believe it of myself. 'Twas thee who rescued me, and all of man, thy motherly affections, that soft and tender hand, which taught me to love above all other acts of mine. To err is human, forgiveness is divine. Judge not, lest ye be judged. All these passages were thine. I felt such strong compassion when I cradled in thy arms. I could no longer punish as I once bethought I should. I came to earth in anger, but 'twas thee who gave me strength. Thus thou art my mother and the holiest of saints.
My words bring rivers to my eyes. Please, forgive my imposition. I'll not ask thee any more.
Nay, but ask me more. For anything thou wishest, save for what?
I've all a soul could ask for in thy grace. My throne upon the mantle made of gold. I dream in shiny sparkles and swim in silver lakes. Lay upon the surface of the clouds. My want is not for riches, nor my own desires, but to witness those who suffer in the sepulchre of fire, to offer them compassion. Though they err, I wish this not for me, but for humanity. For those who have to wallow in the mire, true, all men have sin in them, and so deserve to perish, but worms can only swallow them if thee they do not cherish. I know my tongue is bothersome, so please forgive me for my rant, but if thou hast affection yet, so give my wish a second chance.
And what about temptation? How wilt thou resist? The devil has a honey voice, yet venom on his lips. He's known for his vexation of the holiest of wits.
Aye, Lucifer's a troubled soul, and failed in veneration. But I was born an empty palate with no sinful inclinations. And though his words be full of lies and powerful libations, I'll not drink a drop of them to keep me from salvation. I'll be well.
Alone in hell? And what if he attacks?
Send an angel, my protector, a worthy bodyguard.
Whom?
Michael.
I do not like this plan.
Michael is as capable as any.
Aye, and more. The heartiest of angels. And surely he would place himself twixt thee and any harm. But danger lurks at every turn. The flames of hell are warm.
I'll bring a fan.
No need. Thy head is cool. And Michael's sword is stronger than 1,000 middling fools in all of Satan's army. Still, something could go wrong.
Thou art omnipotent.
Aye, in my domain. What little say have I inside his walls. And if any harm befalls thee, it should start a war, wherewith all the gods of heaven shall with swords come swarming down. Cherubim shall arrows fling through his minions' scalded hearts. The seraphim shall cease to see.
Enough! I'll not depart.
If this be thy desire, thou shouldst go.
I desire friendliness and love, peace betwixt the hell beneath and heaven up above. My want is not for massacres nor war, but to be ambassador twixt thee and purgatory. But if ye bethinks it treacherous, I will not move an inch. I'll stay within these golden gates and linger in thy glory.
Sweet peace now. I implore thee. Michael!
My lord?
Guide my mother safely through the darkened underworld. She longs to see the suffering of souls.
'Tis dangerous.
I know.
Come, take my hand.
She does, then looks at God.
My son, I cherish thee.
Exit Mary and Michael. God stares at earth.
At times like these, I envy man. For who am I to pray to?
Lights out. End of scene. Scene 2, the underworld. Michael and Mary enter Satan's lair. Satan bows.
My lady.
Vouchsafe to keep thy distance.
What? And harm the Holy Virgin? I'd sooner sell my soul.
To whom?
Myself, of course.
Well then, I pray thee gets a bargain. For a soul as valuable as thine, 'twould be a shame to cheat thyself. Don't go below a dime.
Dost thou find me so expensive? I concur.
Side to Michael.
In troth, I would have bartered for some frankincense and myrrh.
Michael unsheathes his sword.
But hold thy sword, I do abate.
To Mary.
Methinks he overcompensates.
Aloud to Michael.
Yet please resheathe, I mean no harm. 'Tis just a spot of jest. Why comest thou so duly armed unto my address?
'Tis for her protection.
Ah, my lady is a noble queen, the worthiest of souls. Why thinkest thou my meager purse could ever buy such gold?
I don't, but know thee for a fiend who stop at nothing.
Well, let's not walk on eggshells, lest we be dishonest. Tell me how thou truly feelst, and fie on being modest.
You disgust me.
Oh! How miserable! How positively grand! And were I not invincible, I'd still be shaking in my hand.
He waves his hand in Michael's face. Michael grabs and twists it. Satan cries out,
Ow! Thou art not impregnable. Thou art not impregnable. Thy shoulders may be hewn. Thy neck is weak and breakable. Thy innards may be strewn.
Michael!
Michael releases Satan and bows to her.
My apologies, dear devil, for the angel means no harm. He is but exhibiting the virtue of his arm.
Aye, such virtue. Me wished he had less merit. 'Twere half my arm is virtuous, I would gladly share it. But verily thou comest to me with purpose. So let's air it. Pleaseth thee now to tell me now, preferably in earnest, how comes about this pilgrimage unto my humble furnace?
I wish to be a witness to the sufferings of man.
Witness, eh? That sounds perverse. But who am I to judge? I will guide thee in, my queen. Thou thy servant, may not budge.
Thou cur!
Thou fish! I decide who comes and goes inside my foul abyss. And Madonna, in her holy quest to see the damned exist, may come and go. Thou, instead, art burdened with a too ill-tempered head, and so thou shalt be girdled in with shackles of the dead.
Satan snaps his fingers, and Michael's arms clamp to his side. He can only move his neck.
What ho! I'm stuck, indeed. Oh no. That is bad luck, my lady.
Oh, pardon me. Release him, for his place is up in heaven. He's only here because Jehovah deigned to let him.
The more misfortune he, but I promise he'll be fine. The instant we return from hell, the chains will then untwine.
Dost swear it?
On thy soul.
My lady, no.
I'll be fine. Please, keep thy wits about thee, Michael. I will return in time.
God would not approve. Surely you must know.
Sadly, this is true. But it is for him that I must go.
She wipes a tear from her eye and exits. Satan follows.
Then may luck be with thee, lady, since I cannot be so.
End of scene. Scene 3. Uriel's lament. God seated staring at a lily.
Uriel,
My
Entering.
lord?
play a song for me.
Of course. Uplifting or morose?
You choose. A bit of both. I is melancholy and cannot decide.
I know just the song.
He moves a harp from thin air. He plays My Heart Stands Divine.
When all of the others worry, my heart stands divine. Though their gaze be often blurry, I
your taste today.
Of course, my lord. How about a requiem?
Aye, for mothers who departed.
She plays Softly Didst Thou Waver.
Softly didst thou waver when I sat upon thy knee. Thy breath I often savored when sang a song to me. My ears they craved such favors from thy consinity. When in this direction I misspoke of thee, 'tis not a recollection that I am proud to keep, but my youthful indiscretions became most painful memories. Softly through the valley and to the land below, I saw my mother sally forth, and I heard the whistles blow. Oh, mother, won't thou dally? Why must he quickly go? So many words unspoken, so many songs unheard. My mother's love unbroken, her body though interred, and though my eyes are open wide, my visions growing blurred. Still softly in the moonlight and in the summer night, I feel thy arms around me, love, sing lullabies. My mother's now the loveliest soul in paradise.
The harp fades.
Dost thou approve, my lord?
Yes, aye. 'Tis fine, a beautiful lament. But how dost thou conceive of such a powerful event? Thou hast no mother to bereave, no indiscretions to repent.
Well, seest, I through human eyes whenever I descend, to watch them weeping. I believe that human souls are complex and intriguing, whereas angels grow as stoic souls incapable of grieving. 'Tis not so of those who live below the tent of non-believing. If they knew the treasures held in heaven for retrieving, they would scarcely shed a tear for such a monumental leaving. Yet still, it's marvelous for a song.
I do agree, and thank thee for the entertainment. Now run along now, peacefully, whilst I remain in melancholy prayer.
Of course, my lord. If I can be of service, please call.
Exit Uriel.
Ah, Uriel, thy song hath much afflicted me, though thou wilt never know it. Thou art ignorant of feeling, though thy music may bestow it. Oh, why did I create the sigh and miserable emotions, when I, bestride the cosmic tide, could then deny such foolish notions? My angels have no fear inside, nor catch the sad disease. Yet I, in my almighty pride, still feel ill at ease. My mother lies beneath the earth and underneath the seas. No word have I for 14 nights, no whispers on the breeze. Yet surely Michael would return unless perforce she has been seized. Gabriel!
My liege?
Get thee forth to Azrael to see if he hath news. My mother lies beneath in hell to comfort the abused. Thy brother is protecting her, but still he doth refuse to bring her to me. With every moment passing, I grow nervous for their safety.
I go, but know with certainty that Michael will not fail thee. With my brother watching over her, she is immune to frailty.
Go! There is no time for prattle. If a wing be harmed on Michael's back, it will be time for battle. The same with my dear lady.
Gabriel runs out. God talks to himself.
Thy confidence is love, sure. But could it stand a war with all of Hades? Oh, Gabriel, my lad, I'm sorry for thy child. Be thou swift, my harbinger, and bring back happy tidings. I'll be glad.
God exits. End of scene. Scene 4, the souls in torment. Satan guides Mary through the depths of hell. There is a pit of fire on the stage. Numerous souls reach out of it for her.
Welcome, Highness, to my lair. Behold the rotting atmosphere. Gaze upon the wretched likes of men deceived and thieves alike. Watch your step, but look around. Delight in squalid sights and sounds. Enjoy the stench of kings and clowns, slow roasting to a golden brown. Whilst here beneath his hallowed ground, they curse their God who cast them down. I cannot blame them. After all, 'twas he who caused my hefty fall. Yet still, in all, I must recall, he left me power to enthrall. So now men cower, one and all, as flames devour them withal.
Satan raises his arms, and the flames rise higher. The souls cry out in anguish.
Please, tell me quick their many faults, their grievous deeds, and mold the souls that brought them deep within these vaults. For surely most egregious be toward them such agony.
I shall recount them eagerly. Where should I begin?
What of these two men?
Well, he was but a burglar, and he a politician. But those are both the same, I give, so no need for division. Over here was an attorney, and she's a prostitute. Either one would cost a ton, so you'd end up getting screwed. Up next in my collection is a man who sought the truth. He was once a rabbi and a magi of the Jews.
And his sin?
When asked to worship Jesus, he refused.
Oh, but that's a lie! They are the same. God and Jesus are the other. If a man but worships one, he venerates the other.
Thou didst not let me finish. He slayed the man who bade him choose, and he ate his skin with spinach.
Oh.
Yes, a bit grotesque. A psychopathic Yiddish. Please continue wafting on the path. I have much more to show thee. Torturous, maliciousness, and gleeful acrimony.
But wait, who's he? That weeping soul near lost beyond my view.
Oh, he was a cobbler who failed to mend a shoe. And every time he missed a nail, he blamed it all on you.
He was damned for that?
He was trying to damn you.
But still, it seems a hefty penance for a fault in mending shoes.
Nay, his punishment for sputtering and blaspheming thy name. Twere he a better shoemaker, his sin would not be the same.
He spits on the cobbler.
He's filth.
Well, I see thou hast a tender heart, despite thy cruel facade.
What meanest thou, my gentle queen? Thy observances are odd.
Thou spitst upon thy servant's head when the fire gets too hot. 'Tis the balm of Gilead, or bread when fasting stops. 'Tis most compassionate.
Aye, that was my intent.
Indeed. Yet, here lies another soul who writhes in misery.
He was but a murderer who deserves no sympathy.
He spits on the murderer.
That was empathy.
This is false imprisonment. I never meant to hurt her.
He claims that he was innocent. but so do all who perjure.
My lady, please, you must believe me. I never meant her harm.
I do.
The murderer reaches toward her. Mary reaches back. Satan shoves her to the ground.
Do not grab her arm.
He helps her to her feet.
Thou must be careful here, Madonna, lest they pull you in. And now for thee.
He thrusts his fingers in the air. A bolt of lightning sparks. The murderer cries out, then disappears.
No! Forgiveness, please! That's why I'm here, inside this wretched place. I wish to shine forgiveness upon all the human race.
But they're my slaves. Doth thou wish to steal them from me?
Aye, and give them heaven's grace.
Despicable! The souls which rot within this place. They curse the name of God above, and murder, loot, and rape. They don't deserve the services of heaven's golden gates. If I cannot be by God's side, then why in hell should they?
Thou mayest, if thou choosest. I will plead for thee. Grant me but a simple wish, and let these souls be free.
Never! They mean too much to me.
Wouldst thou remain in Hades for a full eternity because of greed?
Yea. I need control of something, though it be misery.
Well then, I offer thee a bargain. Take my soul for theirs.
Satan cleans his ears.
My lady, hast a way with jargon to catch me unawares.
Does not approve.
I do. And very much agree. But if God above should show his love, he would come down for thee.
Aye. And then you'd get to see him.
And do so willingly. Dost trade for every soul?
Every little one.
Couldn't I keep 3?
Dost toy with me for fun? I will not trade with thee.
It shall be done. Whatever thou demandest.
Aside.
To Lord above the maid of God shall give me the upper hand.
To her.
So come, my vestal princess, and will barter for their souls. My contract there awaits thy hand. So this hold may ne'er be set undone.
Aye. And though my steps shall forward guide me unto oblivion, I come.
Mary exits. Satan claps his hands and thanks.
Oh, I thank thee, Lord Jehovah, for this thou hast begun.
He exits gleefully. After a moment, the flames die down, and the souls begin emerging from the pit unscathed. They look around in wonder. Lights out. End of scene. Scene 5. Abaddon and Moloch. Michael is bound as before. The souls walk by him.
Halt! Stay! My tools belong the other way, and not in that direction. Halt, I say! You must obey my voice in this objection. Heaven's glare is not prepared to grant thee resurrection. Art deaf? Thou wretched beast, you are deceased. You may not leave this section.
They exit.
They left. Vanishing from hell. What shift is this which sets adrift the thieves from where they dwell? The trespassers and fiends of which forgiveness did expel? If only I could lift the bonds of Satan's evil spell, I would return them to it. Arrgh.
He struggles with his bondage.
What mischief cooked this devil up to make my mistress do it? Oh, would that I were by his side to run the devil through it. Oh no, not them.
Abaddon and Moloch enter. One tall, the other squat.
Oh! Does thee believe, set them free?
Aye, for the Virgin Mary.
But oh, we to torment. She's what, sinless of expersions?
Don't be so naive. You may perceive in questioning a torrent of perversions. On her back, a bit of whipping. On her face, a bit of smack. And when her flesh is ripping, even Mother Mary may admit, her soul is black.
Thy lips are stripped of verity. Thy tongue is dipped in plague. My words subvert sincerity and lay the wounded truth upon its back.
Woe is me. What's this I see?
Oh, blimey. It is he. Can't surely be the captain of affairs.
Aye, 'tis I, by God's design. Thou shouldst be awfully wary.
Michael, Archangel number 1, he who casts my Lord and me from neath the shining sun. So indeed canst thou believe such extraordinary fun.
Oh, stand further, having done.
Nay, but look'st now, thou foolish cow. His girdle's made of lead, it seems our friend is trapped somehow by sickles of the dead.
Nay, comest thou but closer, and I will rip off thy head.
With what, thy teeth? Thou fillest me with dread.
He slaps Michael across the face.
Ooh, he bled.
Coming forward cautiously.
Did you?
Yea, but hit him, gentle Moloch, do not be alarmed. His arms are fettered by his sides, he can't do thee any harm.
Moloch punches Michael in the stomach, then screams out, clutching his hand.
Well, don't hit him in the armor, punch his face.
Oh. Think I'm done with punching. Be your grace.
If I could reach my sword, ye'd both be dead in haste.
So let me help you there.
He takes Michael's sword.
Why, it's not much heavier than air.
He stabs Michael through the ribs. Michael grunts but does not cry out.
Fair.
Moloch.
Care to try it out?
Oh, I'm scared. What if he gets loose?
Abaddon stabs him through the ribs again. Michael groans louder, but does not cry out. He falls to his knees.
Well, then we'll bleed him for his juice.
And how about thy sable lord? Dost think he would approve?
What's this about?
I am bound by sacred vow to serve the Holy Virgin. If thou be fast with my limbs or bowels, it will allow the scourge in. For God above shall feel my death and fly to hell with urgence. How thinkest thou that Satan shall reward his top insurgents? With torture or with love?
Abaddon and Moloch look at each other.
I will let thee live, for now, till he the order gives. But torture 'tis, till then, allowed for thee our most angelic sieve.
Abaddon stabs him again. Lights out. Scene 6, the Book of Azrael. Azrael stands at a podium with a giant book. Gabriel enters.
My noble Azrael, I come for news from God above. I am Gabriel.
I know who thou art.
He starts reading.
Of course. Hast thou a report?
Of what?
Of thy father's mother.
The Virgin Queen.
Aye, she...
Let me see.
Consulting book.
The Virgin Queen, the Virgin Queen, the... Ah, yes, here she be. What wishes thee to know?
Is she well? Is she beneath? How goes her trip to hell?
She is beneath, she is not well. It seems she hath bequeathed herself to he who reigns in hell.
She has bequeathed?
Aye, and in exchange he has released...
He flips through the book.
Everybody else.
Every other soul?
Aye. I wondered why they all came by, not knowing where to go.
You didn't try to stop them?
They weren't on my list.
He shows Gabriel the book, which has only one name on it, the Virgin Queen.
Can such incompetence exist? My brother, where is she?
Bound behind those kindled doors, his limbs will not be free.
Gabriel runs to the doors.
Oh, rattle all you like, dear boy, they will not budge for thee.
Gabriel removing his sword.
On my life I'll run ye through unless you yield the key.
Yawn. Only God may grant admission for an angel such as thee.
He returns to reading.
Then fly will I to heaven for permission from his liege. When I return, these gates will burn with flames from heaven's siege. Beware.
Gabriel exits. Azrael shrugs.
Ha! It makes no difference to me. I am but a gatekeeper and not thy enemy. So there.
He resumes reading. Lights out. Scene 7, the cobbler's wife. Margaret cleans her kitchen. The cobbler enters.
Margaret,
Henry!
I'm alive.
Oh, Henry!
She hugs him.
Where have you been the last few years?
A dark and lonely place, Maggie.
Are you a ghost?
No. I'm not a ghost, Maggie. I'm alive!
Well, glory be! How did this happen?
The Virgin Mary gave me a second chance.
The Virgin Mary? The Virgin Mary?
Yes.
The one you was always cursing.
Oh,
Bloody Mary! Bloody hell! Bloody effing Mary!
aye, that's the one.
Was she lovely?
Beyond.
She hugs him again.
Oh, I missed you, Henry.
And I you.
She kisses him.
Oh, you kiss like I remember?
No, stop it, Henry. I'm an old woman now.
You're 47.
And a widow.
Not anymore, you're not.
I was.
Well, not anymore. You're more beautiful today, Maggie, than I've ever seen you.
You're not so bad yourself, you know, for a dead man.
How's Penny?
Oh, she's just as silly as her father, always getting into trouble. She'll be 8 years old this Tuesday. She was only a wee teen, you know, when she up and left her without a dot. You want to see her?
Soon. I'm still getting used to seeing you.
Oh, you're always very softy.
Can I ask a question, Maggie? I've been away for a long time now, and I've been wondering, well, I guess I best come out with it. The question I wanted to ask you is, have you been faithful to me?
Mostly.
Mostly?
Well, you've been dead for 6.5 years, Henry. What'd you expect me to do, go bowling?
Oh, it makes sense, I guess. I'm sure you had your motivation.
Oh, I was lonely, Henry. That was my motivation. And I was missing you, something terrible.
Aye, and I suppose he's in love with you, this man.
Aye, in his own way, I suppose he is.
And you? Are you in love with him?
Henry.
Taking his face in her hands.
In all my time on earth, I've never loved another man the way I love you. It was my entire world collapsed the day you left me. But I'm glad you're back. And I'll never be unfaithful again, I promise you.
They kiss.
Come, let's go see your daughter.
Aye.
They cross to the other room, where they hear yelling outside.
Glory be! What noise is that?
They look out the window. Uriel enters downstage and watches the same events they see.
Is it Seamus?
Aye.
And Jimmy Brannigan?
Aye. The halls in hell are emptying, Maggie.
Oh, but he's a killer. They executed him last year for shooting school children. Oh, I don't like this, Henry.
He's been given a second chance.
A loud scream from outside.
Ooh, Seamus just stabbed Jimmy Brannigan in the stomach.
A gunshot from outside.
And Jimmy Brannigan just shot him in the face. Oh, Henry.
She buries her face in his chest.
Oh, Henry, this is awful. This is terrible.
Well, here come the peelers now.
Several gunshots ring out through the courtyard. Cursing, yelling, panic in the streets. The cobbler's jaw drops as he protects his wife with arms.
It's a bleeding war zone, this.
The gunshots and yelling grow louder. They inch back.
Bloody Mary!
Pause. He slaps his hand over his mouth, lights out. Scene 8, the will of God. God stares down at earth. Uriel enters.
My lord, the earth is in a panic.
I can see.
Satanic masteries at work, I'll wager them.
Aye, so it seems.
All the souls were damned in hell. All the souls that were damned in hell have somehow been released.
Most distressing.
So what are we to do?
Play a song.
My lord?
What a tragedy. My mother's gone. I let her be. The world is in calamity. I don't know what to think of.
Think of me, and all mankind, and all thy progeny.
Oh, what is wrong with me? Before my birth on planet Earth, 'twere none as strong as me. But now my mirth is twined with hurt and woeful agony.
Perhaps it is thy mother. She is part of thee. Without her here, thy strength appears to wane considerably.
Oh, aye. The Mother, the Son, and Holy Ghost, the Virgin Trinity. I yearn for days of triple post of masculinity. Yet much strength derives from her sweet sighs of magnanimity. And thus, it seems you may be right. My mother holds the key to save the fate of all mankind and our divinity. The entire world relies upon her femininity. Where is Gabriel?
I am here, my lord.
Hast thou been to hell?
Aye, the gates are barred against me, lord.
What news from Asriel?
My mother has betrayed her soul to save the ones who fell. My brother is behind the gates in some bewitching spell. I tried to pry the gates astride, no sway could I impel. I need the key.
Aye, so indeed. Uriel,
My liege.
gather thou the instruments to lead a holy siege.
Yes, Lord, as you please.
Joelle pulls her harp from thin air.
No, not the harp. I mean the sharpened swords of armory, the arrows and unbending bows for cherubs' archery. Go call on chariots and marching steeds to fly us marshally to hell. Couldst thou but think of harmony and singing whilst my mother lies in peril?
Why, no, my lord. This harp's for summoning the forger of thy swords. The smithy only comes to me when hearkening these chords.
She plays 3 chords on the harp, blacksmith enters.
Oh, yes, of course. My head is strange to me.
My lord hath summoned me.
Oh, yes, we have work to do.
Joelle looks at gods and exits, followed by the blacksmith.
Yes, go to. Now then, Gabriel, my messenger, my harbinger of news. Art thou prepared to turn the sword on those who would abuse me?
My lord, my heart is burning with a fire most profusely. I bend my knees to beg thee, please to send thy vengeance through me.
Good. Then go and rouse the seraphim, and rally all the others. Tonight we fly from paradise to rescue precious mothers.
Exit God.
I go.
Exit Gabriel. End of scene. Scene 9, the rise of Lucifer. Mary, bedraggled, chained to the wall or to the floor. Several souls have returned to the pit. Satan dances around her.
Well, how dost thou enjoy despair, my humble virgin fair?
He raises his hand. She cries out from excruciating pain below her stomach.
Since ye rejected earthly pleasures, then the pain must hit thee there.
Mary nods towards the souls in the pit.
You swore that you would free them.
Aye, and so I did. I sent them hence, and in my defense. But God refused to see them. They soared up to his pearly fence and pled to him for freedom. But deaf to all their deference, he let them fall as heathens, since they were not beheld to hell. And God would not o'ersee them. They soon returned to earth, as in the days of Eden. And there, in their unfair rebirth, they harbored grateful grievance. For why should God cast them aside as some unholy demons? They were once his pride. Why shouldn't he receive them?
I don't know.
Well, enraged by his estrangement, they began a new arrangement, murdering the souls on earth in terms of our repayment.
Oh? And who was it that engaged them?
I do confess. 'Twas my maliciousness engaged them. I inspired genocide and wide abominations, set the world upon its side and shook the population. God above may love the earth, but I despise creation. I'll be glad to see it slide into complete annihilation.
But this was not in our agreement.
Hey, don't be so vehement. For when we scrawled our names in blood, it was a form of cement. Our bond is thicker now than e'er before. I've honored our proceedings. So why dost thou accuse me thus of being so misleading?
Because you still have souls.
Nay, our hold was set upon me letting all my souls be free, which I did most eagerly. But the souls thou seest for thee now are all brand new to me, freshly sown from earthly homes and viability.
Yet still I see the cobbler there. He's weeping in the hole.
Aye. The shoemaker's returned to I. He's failed to heal his soul.
He touches his foot.
Heal, soul. Oh, never mind that humorous cold. Twill not appeal to thee.
Why flew they not to heaven if they're slain?
They'd fain attained atonement for their guilt.
Couldst thou deny them absolution for thou killed it?
Aye. It seemed a sound solution at the time.
I could surely handle torture and the pain, but to see these poor unfortunates enslaved, 'tis more than I can bear.
My dear, thou art in hell. Such is the meaning of despair. 'Twere thy sacrifice for fruitful love, thou wouldst bethink it fair, but to forfeit all thou carest about in vain. Why, there's the only torment could be worthy of thy name.
He pinches her nose.
I have ne'er perceived an evil more profane than that.
Oh, flattery will get thee nowhere, my effervescent queen.
He starts to exit. Bullock runs in, breathless.
But my lord, the horns of war are blowing. At the door, methinks the angels of the shores above are haunted with a roar. 'Tis time to chime the carillon, so we can all withdraw.
He starts to leave.
Withdraw? Art dense? Whatever happened to defense? Grab a sword and guard the door like wards with common sense.
If they destroy us,
then my wrath will be immense.
oh,
Bullock runs back the way he came.
Yes, it is immense. Wouldst thou care to place a wager on events?
No.
Well, the odds are in my favor, no offense.
We shall see.
Yes, for far too many centuries of festering in hell, 'tis time for me to pay Jehovah his belated recompense.
He spits on Mary.
How likest now, thou servant queen, my sensitivity? Oh, I see thy tender heart no more appeals to thee.
I am not on fire.
Yes, well, we shall see. But now I must depart, I guess, from blessed company. I'm tired.
Satan exits. Lights out. Scene 10. Reaching the gates. Azrael stands at his podium as before. Gabriel and Uriel enter with swords drawn.
Azrael, thou knave,
Yeah?
open up the gates.
Well, I see you've gained permission from thy master.
Yes, and I will break thy gate unless thou movest any faster.
Gabriel, abate. We'll breach it soon enough.
Yes, but if we're late, it would be a grave disaster.
Eternity is far too long to be in such a hurry.
Gabriel puts his sword to Azrael's neck.
My brother's blood is far too rich to tempt me not to worry.
Azrael puts 2 fingers on the sword and lowers it.
Do not bethink me invalid just for my gray beard. For I have fought 1,000 wars and seen 1,000,000 years.
He raises his hand and Gabriel starts to choke. Uriel steps towards them. Azrael points 2 fingers toward Uriel. Gabriel's sword follows so that it points at Uriel as well. Uriel stops.
How long I've stood by Yahweh's side before the days of men. He tasked me with the book of death, though he alone controls the pen. 'Twas I who slayed the dinosaurs and countless specimens, when in a rage of aggravation, he bade me to delete his first attempt. Those creatures were immeasurable in size and scope galore, but I approached the globe as though a blazing meteor. 'Twas I who moved the earth 100 light years from the sun. 'Twas I who brought the ice age and the cold oblivion. Oh, God is our creator, but he knows the need for death. And thou wert but a mewling pup the day I came to rest. Before the stinking halls of limbo here to serve at God's request. Dost think that I enjoy the stench of pain and angry souls? Oh, nay, I but fulfill the will of God, obeying what I'm told.
Uriel kneeling.
Yes, please. Although my cousin be impetuous, his heart is full of gold. We came to breach the gnarled gates and rescue whom it holds. Our quarrel is with those inside and not with thee out here. Like you, our destination is for God alone to make appear. Release thy hold.
Azrael nods and releases his hold on Gabriel. Gabriel takes a giant breath.
Thy eagerness deserves commending, though thy charm deserves reproach. Why wouldn't thou raise an arm to those who would not do thee harm? If God commands these gates to open, I shall lower the alarm.
He does.
Well, good. Then may Jehovah's will be done.
Azrael exits, Gabriel touches his neck and stares at Uriel.
I pray thee speak no word of this.
Nay, not to anyone.
They exit, lights out. Scene 11, the battle rages. Michael on his stomach, barely breathing. Abaddon and Moloch enter. Abaddon has Michael's sword, Moloch has an axe. Sounds of clattering at the gates.
Oh, this is gonna be tough.
I'll let them up and pop. We'll hold the forces steady whilst we rip them up.
Abaddon swings the sword around barbarically. Moloch pointing at Michael.
And what to do with him?
We'll tear him limb from limb.
Abaddon raises the sword over Michael, a loud noise from the gates.
Blast, they're almost in. You do it.
Blimey.
Abaddon hides behind the gate. Moloch raises his axe over Michael's neck. When the doors fly open, Uriel and Gabriel rush in.
Aha! It appears that we've alighted just in time.
Die to die.
Abaddon attacks Gabriel with Michael's sword. Uriel runs at Moloch, who drops his axe.
Blimey, please don't harm me. Oh, wasn't gonna hurt him.
Thy ineptitude disarms me, that's for certain. On the ground.
Yes, sir.
Moloch walks down face first. Uriel grabs his axe.
This sword is not a demon blade.
Nay, it was angelic made and used to slay an angel.
Slay? Say, doth he speak the truth, my friend, or doth he disassemble?
Uriel runs to Michael.
Thy brother is alive, though very badly wounded.
Yeah, he cried pathetic whines whenever I imbued him.
Liar!
Gabriel attacks with greater fury.
Oh, I don't think you should leave. Them, Abaddon.
Instead, in ire, I'll abuse them.
He slices Gabriel's arm. Gabriel groans and falls.
Dost thou know he cried 1,000 times that I should not misuse him? He said his flesh was far too delicate, and I was too intrusive.
Abaddon tries to stab Gabriel, but Gabriel rolls away.
But you, unlike your brother, are annoyingly elusive.
Abaddon follows Gabriel, but Uriel attacks him with two weapons, his own plus Moloch's. Gabriel crawls to Michael.
My brother, I am here.
Virgin Mother needs releasing, for I am freed.
She will be.
Cousin, canst thou help me?
I indeed.
Gabriel raises his sword with his other arm. Abaddon knocks Uriel down.
Ha! I cannot be defeated.
Gabriel wounds him. Abaddon cries out.
Thou art awfully conceited.
Abaddon swings at Gabriel. Uriel stabs him in the chest.
Sorry, I mistreated.
What's that? Please repeat it.
Gabriel slices his neck. Abaddon collapses.
Nay, I must confess I would prefer it if his words remained unheeded.
Oh, avoid my only friend.
Oh, then maybe you should join him in the end.
Gabriel stabs Moloch through the back.
Why me? Why wouldn't thou destroy me? Oh, surrender.
Because you would have stabbed my brother in the back.
Gabriel removes the sword.
Oh.
Moloch dies.
What a wood precipitates not an unsolicited attack. What about forgiveness?
He's a demon, and his soul is smoldered black. He would have turned on us eventually if we had shown him slack.
I disagree. 'Tis impropriety, stabbing even darkest demons in the back.
Placing both hands on Moloch.
May God have mercy on thy soul.
We're in a war. Go tell the Lord if thou thinkest I am lacking. I instead shall forge ahead to give the hordes of hell a sacking.
Gabriel starts to leave.
And what about thy brother?
Aye, he'll die most rapidly unless his chains unshackled. My father's mother is the key to all that must be tackled.
And his wounds?
Indeed, he'll need miraculous attention. Wouldst thou consent to fly him hence unto the Lord's dimension? He'll never heal while bleeding here within the sealed-up penitentiary.
Aye, with care.
Then I will see thee there, beyond the walls of purgatory, the devil's lair. Whatever fate befalls me, be it air or in a grave, if I can rescue Virgin Mary, we may all be saved.
Be thou wary.
Be thou brave.
Exit Gabriel, lights out. Scene 12, redemption. Mary chained. Gabriel rushes in.
My lady, is it thee?
I, in low captivity, I am prone to watch them tormented for all eternity.
I have come for thee.
He hacks away at her chains, to no avail.
Nay, conserve thy energy. No sword can break these cursed chains of animosity. Alas, I've sealed my fate.
Still trying.
Thy son has come as well for thee. He's near beyond the gates.
Was there a war?
Aye, the bloodiest of battlefields than e'er I've seen before. More limbs have fallen from the sword than waves upon the shore. My lady would be pleased.
Nay, I am aggrieved. I came to end the sufferings of all. Instead, the numbers multiplied inside these burning walls. The slaughtering of innocents, the ravages of war. All horrific side effects to what I came here for. I would gladly take their torments on to save them from their faults, but this devil's contract has misled me and has pledged me false.
I will make him change it.
Stay, please, do not abandon me. How is thy brother? Is he well?
Nay, he has been wounded.
Oh, Michael, I've abandoned thee. I have lost it all to spare humanity.
Mary weeps. Gabriel stares into the pit.
Was it worth it?
What question dost thou ask of me? No torture is too much to save a soul. Although futility be torture all its own.
Cobbler calling out.
Milady, don't despair. Thy sacrifice has given me the chance to breathe in air. I could fain have tasted honey, or but combed me daughter's hair, if he had not descended into Satan's evil lair. I worship thee most heartily, and praise thee in me prayers.
You lie! If you had truly praised her, thy soul would be up there.
I didn't praise her, and I took her gift for granted. But when a man is upside down, his vision may be slanted. I regret my weak decisions, and the things that I had granted. Now I wish my lady happiness and peace, even if me soul forever remains in disease.
Wait!
Starts exit.
Art thou not the shoemaker whose soul was not prepared?
Aye, but that was frailty, and not thy own affairs. 'Tis the weaknesses of human's flesh that makes me unprepared. But through it all, I must confess, it gives me strength to know thou cares.
Why then, I bless thee, worthy cobbler, and thy daughter's hair. For if my torments gave the tiniest of hope, then I would gladly brave 1,000 pains and smile as I cope. Thy words give affirmations to my sacrifice's scope.
Take care.
Cobbler disappears as Satan enters.
Oh my, what's this? We have a guest. Oh, I wish someone had told me I'd have gotten dressed.
Release the Virgin Mother, you villain scum!
And he speaks with such distinction, I'm impressed.
I demand she be unhanded instantly.
Oh, don't be such a pest. She is my favorite prisoner. I spit on thy request.
To Mary.
Is that an insult or respect?
I do not know.
To Gabriel.
Well, regardless, thou art welcome here, provided ye regress.
From what?
From aiming swords upon thy host and making rude requests. I am but a businessman, despite what some suggest, and I could offer thee more riches than thou ever hast possessed.
Oh, Gabriel, be deaf!
Now, in that room's a treasure chest with anything thou wishes.
I want thee dead.
My offer has some glitches. How about instead, for power, dost thou crave it?
No, I'm not depraved. 'Tis better thou shouldst save it.
Oh, that is a pity. I could have made thee mayor of this conflagrated city, or perhaps a governor, or better yet, a king. The management is changing soon. There'll be some openings.
No, not if God has any say.
Oh, God can say whatever he likes. This is his judgment day. Our courtroom stands adjourned for him, and I'm the magistrate. And you can be his barrister, and Mary there his aide.
He points into the pit.
But when the jury finds him negligent, this courtroom's getting paid.
Enough of this charade. You'll be paid with this, seditionist. I'll penetrate thy spleen.
Gabriel attacks Satan with his sword. They fight. Satan wounds Gabriel, who falls to the ground.
Well, a fine attack. Thou art a worthy enemy. But come, I've been too slack. 'Tis time to murder thee.
He snaps his fingers and does a little dance. Gabriel hacks away at the invisible chains. He is not bound.
What? My shackles never miss. But you've averted them with ease.
Aye, and for thy tricks I shall convert thy stubborn knees.
They fight again. Satan pins him to the ground with his pitchfork.
Oh, you goose. God himself could not oppress me. I gave no whimpered pleas. And when he quelled my poor rebellion once, 'twas only by degrees. And even then I found no ground before him on my knees. He claimed that he would take me back, if only I would cease to speak so roundly of his Adam and his Eve.
He snaps his fingers and does a little dance. Gabriel is bound by the invisible chains.
Oh, those stupid humans and their curiosities. That's wherefore this place was born, to house those oddities. The souls that question God in his most foul authority. My, but how that number's quickly grown into majority. I warned him that the souls of man bore moral poverty, but would he listen? No! And then he banished me. I loved him as a father once, but 'twas his vapid vanity which made me leave. Why valued he, this worthless man, above all we who would receive him? 'Twas seraphim who worshipped him, yet man who would beseech him.
That be how you truly felt. Why didst thou deceive him?
I never lied. I only told him honestly that man would obsolete him.
Aye. And then you went behind his back to feed that girl a secret.
Yes, it was a test. To prove how fickle were their feelings, to taste the fruit of knowledge despite his high commands. I thought that God would then acknowledge the deficiencies of man. Instead, he gives them solace on that planet made of land, whilst I reside in empty solace in these flames below the sand.
To Gabriel.
Oh, I begged thee for assistance once, and Michael for his hand, so we together unified could make our Father understand that only angels are the worthy ones, and not this feeble man.
There is much good in man.
There's far more weaknesses.
Yet am I not a man?
In a way of speaking, yes, but even you have now deceived him in your misbegotten quest. I see no sanctity at all in man, just sin within his breast. And here within these suffered walls, your selfish souls shall never rest.
He raises his fingers and lightning strikes. Mary cries out as many of the souls disappear. God enters, flanked by Uriel and Michael, who is wounded but unbound.
Beelzebub, thou wretch! I have come for thee.
The lightning stops.
Yes, and so I see. Moloch, Abaddon, arise at my behest.
Moloch and Abaddon appear in the pit.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lord. They stabbed me through the chest.
They did.
Yes, and I was quite outnumbered, 2-1.
Abaddon?
Moloch and Abaddon disappear into the pit.
Well, what didst thou expect? Thy demons were no match for us in strength nor intellect. We're warriors of God above, and they have shown us disrespect.
A warrior? You jest. A fairy with a Neville harp is more what I'd suggest.
Gabriel, still bound.
Devil, for thy carping I shall perforate thy neck.
Gabriel, be checked. I shall speak with you. Lucifer, in days gone by, you led my seraphim. I praised thee more than all who have thrived in Bray Lazy. I entertained thy appetite, indulged thy every whim. I even let thee torment Job with plagues and pestilence. So why dost thou betray me now with brazen insolence?
You banished me from heaven!
Aye, for cursed impudence. You challenged my descent to earth with churlish ignorance. I gave thee charge of all the skies in my misguided confidence. And how dost thou administrate my respite from providence? You had me murdered. So much for deference.
You seemed unhappy there.
I was quite content. My mother was watching over me. My fellow brethren, I found tremendous pleasures in the fellowship of men, but suffering their legal measures wasn't one of them.
Oh. Didst thou condemn my favorite angel for the sentiments of men?
No. I blame their strange behavior on deception from thy end.
I? Who?
Yes. Did thou not seduce Iscariot to turn me in for coin? Did thou not induce the Pharisees to cry for my undoing? Dost thou deny convincing Pilate wash his hands of my arrest? And didst thou not incite Longinus pierce a spear within my breast?
I did. Yes. Although it's not like I was challenged. You saw how quickly they complied and how they clamored for the balance. See, your humans are but imbeciles, susceptible to bribes. I merely offered pittances, and nearly all subscribed. My dearest father, you mistook. I never deigned to hurt thee. I simply tried to show thee that thy humans were unworthy.
I knew full well the risks involved before I undertook them. But thy methods were subversive, and I could no longer brook them. 'Tis why I vied for banishment, although it cried for worse punishment. Denied to thee my ecstasy, and heaven's holy nourishment. I sentenced thee to centuries in this malignant penitentiary to torment those who live their lives in sin. Until recently this pleased me. Thy deeds reported to me frequently. But now I see indecency, and seeds of incivility are sown throughout this land.
He looks at Mary.
How this visage startles me. This woman who did coddle me when I was but a child of a man.
He kneels before her.
How now, mother? Are you well?
Should have brought my fan.
God weeps and hugs her.
You were once the proudest of us all, omnipotent and powerful, the grand and brave, infallible commander of the world. And now you're full of simpering and sympathetic whimpering, or someone who is a human girl.
She is my mother.
She is but a churl. If humans were the ocean, you would treat her like a pearl. Yet all of my devotion has been crumpled up and hurled. Shed you no tears for me.
Emotion is a bitter thing when jealousy unfurls.
Pah! And why would I be jealous? I own the pit of hell. I even own the harlot who will here forever dwell.
Nay! She is neither harlot nor a denizen of thine, for she begat the universe when she gave birth to heavenkind.
And yet she signed on the dotted line and sold herself to me. So how can she be worth a dime without her piety?
My mother is compassion. She is wealth. She is happiness and joy. Yea, I never understood it all myself until I felt her arms around me as a boy. I think I may have failed thee, child, as I've never hugged thee quite the way I should.
He holds out his arms.
I swear to love thee better now, if ye would but unfetter her and love her as ye should.
What? No. It's far too late. You cannot just waltz in here after several hundred years expecting an embrace. I want my revenge.
But I'm offering my love.
I'd rather keep thy hate.
Satan thrusts his pitchfork at God, who ducks. Flames are up behind him. Satan runs and hides behind Mary.
I have heard enough.
God slams his staff into the ground. The earth shakes and his voice echoes.
Accursed Mephistopheles, thy words are but hypocrisies. Reverse these bold atrocities, and bear and hold my mother to no debt.
Nay, she is my silhouette, and whilst I overshadow her, she'll always be my pet.
He pats Mary's hand.
Oh, don't look so upset.
He peeks out from behind Mary.
I may defeat him yet.
He thrusts his pitchfork at God. God's staff flies out of his hand. Mary gasps.
Ha ha! And now some lightning in the chest.
He thrusts his pitchfork at God again. This time God flies backward into a wall and lands on the ground. Uriel stands between God and Satan, sword outstretched.
Lucifer, thou saboteur, you'll burn for this offense.
Oh, show some common sense.
Satan thrusts his pitchfork at Uriel, who flies backward.
Joelle, release me now, thou malcontent. I'll circumvent thy...
Satan snaps his fingers and Gabriel's mouth clamps shut. He does a little dance and Uriel's bound.
So much for thy defense. Now 'tis you and I, my lord, and time for recompense.
Satan picks up God's staff.
How is this even possible? This turning of events.
Well, if you think about it clearly, Lord, it all makes perfect sense. You turned into a weakling when you traveled thence. You suckled at your mother's teat and cuckolded your strengths. And now you're but a meager shadow of the ruler you were once.
Nay, harbor not the prince's lies. Your love is your defense. My lord, do not forget, compassion is a virtue, and your kindness is your strength.
My kindness towards your mother's soul is coming to its length.
He aims his pitchfork at Mary.
And if compassion be a virtue, then my sin is consequence. Oh, speak thou. Now another word would not be recommended. And unless you'd like to see how far thy neck might be extended, I suggest you give a rest to catch the breath that you've expended.
He snaps his fingers and Mary's lips are sealed.
Now to face the villain, and my skill hath apprehended.
God attempts to stand but has no luck.
Art thou prepared for death? Oh, this is going to be splendid.
He holds God's staff over God. Azrael enters, carrying his giant book. Satan and God both turn to look at him.
My lords, forgive me if there's any I've offended, but I've been flipping through the book of death, and it must needs be amended.
Can you come back? Can you come back another time? Perhaps after this is ended?
Nay, there may be no delay, nor may the deadline be extended. For the name of God has not been writ, although it seems to be intended.
To God.
My lord, is it thy desire for thy reign to be upended?
No.
And what of thy existence? Would you like it shortened or extended?
I will choose the second.
Well, then that explains it.
He closes the book.
I'm afraid the Lord may not be killed unless the Lord himself ordains it.
What? But that's ridiculous. Why would he agree?
The universe's rules are set by those who doth create it.
Satan takes the book from Azrael. God begins to stand.
What? Let me see the list.
Satan scans the book.
Missed, dismissed, does not exist. How ineffectual is this?
He throws the book into the pit of hell. He turns to Azrael.
Interrupt me again, and I'll throw thee in the abyss. Now I've been waiting centuries for this.
He turns to God, who is standing face to face with him. God grabs the staff.
What the hell?
God pulls the staff away from him. Suddenly the chains on Mary open, as do the bonds on Gabriel and Uriel. Michael woozily regains his consciousness. The pit of flames dies down. God grabs Satan's pitchfork.
The devil has destroyed the book of death. Without those names inscribed inside its sacred holy manifest, no soul on earth, nor heaven born, may ever be possessed. Oh,
Well, this will hinder my success.
God grabs Satan by the throat. He walks him over to the pit, holding him precariously near the edge.
My lord, my son, pull back this aggression.
Why?
The souls in the pit reach up tentatively at first, and then more aggressively, pulling at Satan's feet and legs.
Get him!
Pull him in.
You must forgive his indiscretion.
Why should I forgive?
An eye for an eye.
A tooth for a tooth.
Because thou art his father, and 'twould be the stronger lesson.
Give him to us, Father. We'll forgive him for you.
No! He can't be trusted. He will die for this transgression.
You must turn the other cheek.
Mother, don't be foolish. If I do, he'll think I'm weak.
No, we'll see that thou art merciful and learn from thy technique.
Now is not the time.
My son, thou art the savior and the father of mankind. Wouldst thou teach them how to love, or should thy vengeance be thy shrine? If humans will be virtuous, 'tis thee should be their guide. But how can ye be worthy if forgiveness ye deny?
But an eye for an eye.
And a tooth for a tooth? Then humankind would all be blind, we never chew our food.
She kneels.
My son, thou art the Lord on high. Thy will, of course, is mine. If killing him would bring you joy, then do as you design. But in that hole are many souls who pine for thy embrace. And though they may be sinners all, they are of human race. And as your children, one and all, deserve good heaven's grace.
He throws Satan to the ground away from the pit.
No! My lord, I'd rather die than give away my slaves.
Michael grabs Satan.
You knave.
Enough!
To Mary.
Should I reward even the basest creatures with a space inside my gates?
Why? For even though he's evil, he would change in thy embrace. Show your love to him.
God stares at Satan for a long moment.
But how should I begin?
Mary whispers in his ear. God nods, and he lifts Satan roughly to his feet.
I love thee, son, with all my heart, and cleanse thy sins within my glory.
They hug for a long moment. At first, Satan is uncomfortable. Then he starts to cry.
What? My lord, I'm not... Please,
He falls to his knees, weeping.
I am sorry. I am sorry. I am sorry.
God touching Satan's head.
Arise, my child, and no longer kneel before me. Instead, I'll fly us up to heaven, and I'll beg of thee to join me.
I will.
Into the pit.
And all of you whom I denied, please shine your grace upon me. And in return, I shall provide you all with kind eternity. Please forgive my former ignorance and accept my open hand.
He helps them out of the pit one by one. Mary, Satan, and the angels help as well. As he releases them, he hugs them. So do the others.
And in exchange, I'll welcome all into the promised land.
My lady, is it far?
What?
This journey into heaven?
No, it isn't long. We'll be there by morning.
Yuri, a song.
Yes, Lord, in thy glory.
She pulls her harp from thin air and plays "My Heart Stands Divine."
When all of yes, when all of the others worry, my heart stands divine. Though their gaze be often blurry, I see heaven shine. For God's love is strong, joyous sound. In the glow of heaven's kindness, may you all be found. Now go with God toward new horizons, spread his love around. Feel the warmth of dawn arising from the sallow ground. And if this show be so delighting, please make a happy sound.
Muriel bows. End of play. We're going to take just a few minutes. I want to steal the playwright. See if we can